All marketing works. I love this. You're going to walk away believing this when you listen to this episode. What if every marketing strategy actually worked? And I'm talking all of them. That could be Instagram, emails, networking, TikTok, if that's your thing. But if you're like me, if you're like other coaches, business owners, you've probably tried a bunch of stuff that didn't work or didn't work for you. And it leaves you wondering, like, what am I doing wrong? Why does it feel so hard? And if you're like me too, you've probably searched out trying to find the secret answer, the answer that someone else tells you is the answer and that this is what you need to do. So this episode is about that. It's not just here to inspire you, but it's here to help you make a decision and then follow through with it. Melissa Kellogg Lueck, she is a marketing coach for women entrepreneurs. She has been in business, running her business for 20 years. So she's very good at helping women simplify, get focused, and actually enjoy marketing again. In this conversation, she's going to share with us, and I ask lots of questions, as you know I do. She's going to share how to create your own one-page marketing plan that really is going to drive the results, not by doing more, but she's going to explain why it drives results, why your energy is the most important part of this strategy. Before we dive in, I did want to say one other thing. I just had a new client tell me that she found me through the podcast. She did a search. She started listening to the podcast. She started implementing what she was learning. And then she told herself, if I'm not where I want to be by the end of the year, I'm going to book a call with Tracy. And guess what? She followed through. She just signed for one-on-one coaching with me, and I'm so excited to help her get to the next step to get her to her goals. And she's not the only one. Another past client told me that he listened to every episode. I don't know if every episode, but lots of episodes, implemented so many of the strategies, and then reached out when he knew he was ready for more support. That's what the podcast is here for. So if you've been listening, you've been implementing, you're wondering what it would be like to have someone guide you step by step through organizing your business or organizing your life and your home, then this is your next step. Sign up for a call. Go to simplysquaredaway.com/appointments to book your call. And whether it's Organized Life Academy, Organized Coach Academy, or one-on-one coaching, we're just going to figure out what you need, figure out what's best for you on that call. Okay, let's get into today's conversation. Are you ready to work less, feel more organized and productive, streamline repetitive tasks, and implement systems that allow your coaching business to run smoothly even without you? If so, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Organized Coach Podcast, your go-to source for practical tips and solutions. I'm your host, Tracy Hoth, professional organizer, certified life coach, simplifying expert, and most of all, down-to-earth fellow coach just like you. No matter if you think you're missing the organizing gene, have ADHD, or just love anything organizing, I'm here to help you become an organized coach with a business that works for you. Pull up a seat and let's get started. Melissa, I'm so excited to have you here. And I've been doing a little research and I'm so excited for this topic and talking to you and walking away. So everyone knows we're going to walk away with a one-page marketing plan. Welcome to the podcast.
I'm so excited to be here and get to see you again.
Yes. Okay. We're going to dive right in and then I'll ask you personal questions along the way. But I want to know, why do you think so many women, smart women, successful women, keep overlearning and even under-earning? Or they still feel stuck with their marketing, with their business, with the money that they want to earn?
Yeah. So specifically around marketing, what I often see is a lot of the clients that I work with, similar to your clients, are trust-based service professionals, right? So coaches or consultants or attorneys or advisors, and they have spent their life and their education learning their craft, right? And becoming really great at the work that they do. But for most of them, they never learned marketing. So they become an entrepreneur and now they've got to run a business and market themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
can be really intimidating. So they're like, oh, well, I'm going to just go learn marketing, just like I learned my other things. But, and that's great. But oftentimes what that does is it distracts you and takes you away from really creating clients. And that's really what we need in order to do our life's work and also to serve and to make money and keep our business going. So I love to bring them back to the simplicity of what marketing really is. And marketing is simply connection, and it's about connecting to your future client. And so when we really simplify that, you can create a lot more revenue and opportunity in your business without going off and having to learn the entire practice of marketing.
Oh, I love that. I've never really thought about it like that before. And when you said the simple definition of marketing, it's like echoing my simple definition of organizing is knowing what you have and being able to find it, not all the other stuff. So your simple definition of marketing is connection. How did you say it?
Yeah, marketing is simply about connecting with your future clients.
Okay. Ooh, I love just that definition. So I read somewhere that you said all marketing works. So
Yes.
how do we then decide like what we want to commit to and really ultimately master? Because they're all so shiny and they're so fun. And you do one and you think, oh, that one, oh, this is not what I need to do. I need to do that. And then you start that and you're like, oh, wait, this is what I need to do. And I think as business owners, we've all started and stopped and changed and started and stopped. Do you notice that, or is it just me?
Yes. Well, I definitely notice that a lot, and it's very attractive. And really, that's what we are as entrepreneurs. We are experimenters. Like, we're problem solvers. We're experimenting. And so that part of it is great. But what I often see is that the misconception that happens is we think the marketing strategy or the tool is what makes the clients come, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we go from the belief that all marketing works, then we have to say, well, how do I know, like, just like you said, how do I know what I do? Well, all marketing works because of the energy that you bring to it, right? And so I always use the kind of the extreme example of TikTok, for example. Like, if you love dancing and, doing silly things and recording them and putting them out to the world, you're going to and posting them on TikTok. That's great. And your energy is there and you will create clients there. However, if that is like, you'd rather, poke your eyes out with a hot rod than dance on TikTok, like, no amount of videos of you forcing yourself to do that is going to bring clients.
Ooh, no.
Right.
And when you say no amount of videos, like no amount of training and how to do it and how to do better, or no amount of posting the number of videos?
Both.
Oh,
if your energy isn't there, because really why marketing works is because of you and the energy you bring to the activity, right? And so I know this to be true because I started in my marketing career 25 years ago. And in those days, we got all of our clients through Yellow Pages ads and AM radio ads.
Yeah.
Right?
What else
and that
was
worked
there
then.
back then?
There was no internet, right? So, and that's how we created all of our business. And so as the tactics and the tools and the strategies change, it's where you want to bring your energy. And so that's the work that I always do with my clients, is really discovering how do you like to meet new people? How do you like to connect with the people that are already in your world? If you love, being on social media and connecting with them that way, then great, then let's do that. If you love, going and dropping in on people door to door, and that's something you love, then try that. It's all where you want to bring your energy, because people will work with you because of you, not because you did a video on TikTok, right? But they want to know the real you and see you and experience you and your energy in order to work with you.
Okay. So then when thinking about all the marketing,
yeah.
I mean, when I think about that, I'm like, okay, is that ads? And then I think, oh, how do you bring your energy to ads, like Facebook ads?
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, so talk a little more about what some options are. I mean, I know it's probably endless.
It is endless. So What I work with all my clients is first thing we do is we create a one-page marketing plan, right? Because there's three things that you need to be doing at all times. I don't care if you're a brand new baby business or if you are, knocking on the door of your first six figures or multi-six figures, you will always be doing three things in your marketing. So if you can do these three things, you will create clients. So number one is bringing new people into your universe. So how do you like to meet new people? New to you people.
Okay.
Number two, you have to be nurturing those relationships, growing relationships with the humans that you want to work with.
Okay.
And you've brought into your world. And then number three is making offers to them, offers and invitations, which doesn't always mean selling. It can mean inviting them to the next step in the relationship with you, right?
Okay.
Because every client will take a journey from the first time they ever get introduced to you to the time they either refer you to someone or hire you themselves. There's all kinds of steps all along the way. And so we're always inviting them to that next step in the relationship.
That's so good. Okay. So I'm thinking about my own business and I'm like, okay, where do I invite people? Well, I'm about to turn ads on again, but I've done ads before. So that's one place.
Yes.
The other place would be guesting on podcasts and inviting them to a free offer that I have or to follow me or get on my email list.
Yes.
And then nurturing them would be through my podcast.
Yes.
And through emails.
Mm-hmm.
And then inviting them would be all the offers. So email offers, maybe I do a free class or a webinar, or I give them an offer an email, reach out personally. So all of those things. Is that it? Or from that, would you have me be doing anything else, Melissa? See any gaps?
So what I like to do is we always want to be having a balanced marketing plan. So we want to have a few activities that are bringing in new people to us, like your ads and podcast guesting.
Okay.
And then we want to be having a few items that are nurturing activities. So that would be like your email marketing. Many people, that's what our social media posting is, like nurturing the people that are already in our universe.
Okay.
Or your podcast. And my podcast is the same. Those are all nurturing activities. And then each one of those activities will have its own little offer, right? Because the people that are brand new to you, they download a freebie and then then you start nurturing that relationship and you kind of bring them along in that journey of getting to know you, knowing what you offer. And there's a little, scavenger hunt that they get to go on with you of learning more about you and how they can work with you.
Yeah, I like thinking of a little scavenger hunt. I used to make scavenger hunts for my kids. And it was so fun. On Valentine's Day, we always had an annual scavenger hunt with like gifts around the house. And then there was their big gift at the end.
I love that.
That's kind of fun thinking about that. And so when you map out like the client journey and thinking of it, now I'm going to think of it like a little scavenger hunt. And what exciting things can they get along the way?
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. But yeah, I like also thinking about when you're saying that when they come in via a freebie or an ad, they do get nurtured, they get helped, and then there's an offer. Yeah. And on my podcast, they get nurtured, they get helped on the podcast episode, and then there's an offer either somewhere in there. So yeah. Oh, that's so helpful to think about it like that.
Yes. And we always want to make sure to not clutter up your marketing plan, right? Because if you know that it's your energy that creates the clients, not, whether you're on social media or not, then you can simplify the marketing into activities that allow you to shine, allow your energy to shine through. And if the fewer and more essential your marketing plan is, the more skilled and better converting you can make those few items, right?
Yeah.
So you, for example, you have an amazingly successful business, but you're not like on all the social media platforms and, doing all the things. Like you have these very few things that you do and you do them very well with high quality, high value. And that's what creates the clients, not doing all the things. Like many of us think we have to do all the shiny things, like you said before.
Yes. And that is true. I mean, I think that, and I have people saying like how to get one piece of marketing to 47 places. And I'm like, oh my gosh, drains me completely thinking of that.
Mhm.
And I don't want to do video podcasting. I just love doing podcasting without the video. And so it's just confirmation. Like I don't have to do all that. But at the same time, I have everyone telling me I should do more.
Yes.
And so I think that's the hard part is saying no or staying on track, even if it's I'm committing to only doing this for a year or 6 months. Or do you have a certain set time that you test something? Because what if you're doing something, but it's not getting you results?
There's a couple different questions there. What if I'm doing something and it's not, producing the results I want? Number one, we would want to look at how long you've been doing it. There's usually some different pieces of it that we can dial in. For example, email marketing, right? If someone says, well, email's not working for me, I would say, well, let's look at your numbers. And there's all kinds of numbers along the way, right? Like your open rate and then your click-through rate and different things that we can look at so we can kind of follow the clues of what our business is telling us. So maybe you have a very high open rate, but no click-through. So I would say, oh, well, maybe we need to tweak the offer and where the offer is placed in the email, or is it a button or a link, or, there's a lot of different troubleshooting that we can do to dial those things in. But in terms of how long do I let something go before I throw it out the window, I would say at least 30 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're saying, okay, I'm going to try Substack for the first time, I would say, okay, let's go all in on that for 30 days and measure the progress and see, do you like it? Is your energy there? Are you enjoying it? Number one. And then number two, are we seeing, leads come in through that? What is the response? Whatever the metrics that you want to measure, and give it a little time to run. But I always say, keep the things that are working. And then if you want to try something different, let's keep the things that are working and then experiment over here, right?
Yeah. Well, that's so good too, thinking about your energy. So I heard someone say they did TikTok every day, twice a day for 30 days. They committed to that. They finished it, but they hated it. They did not want to do that. So you could totally see their energy would not be doing it. They probably wouldn't do it because they hated it. But then I don't even know Substack at all. I've heard it like 20 times in the last 30 days though. And so I think, it's such a good thing. I like that you said, try it for 30 days and see if you like it. See if it's something you want to do.
Yeah, because all marketing works. So you get to do the things that really excite you and make marketing fun for you, because when you have that energy, you're going to be so much more attractive to your best fit clients.
It keeps making me think, what if that could be true? Like it just makes me smile. Like, what if it could be true that all marketing works?
Well, it does. I have data to prove that over the last, 20 years. I've been in business for 20 years, marketing my business and creating revenue and a profitable business for 20 years.
So have you had your own
business?
business? Yeah. Have you had your own business that whole 20 years, or were you working for? Oh, wow.
I started my business, my current business, in 2005.
Wow.
Yeah.
Always doing marketing for people.
Yes. Yep.
So 20 years of evidence that all marketing works.
Yes.
Yes. So when someone thinks about, how do I find out what works for me? I mean, I guess obviously they look and see, like, where did their last clients come from? What is working now?
Mm-hmm.
And then if they want to, or if they find nothing work, what if they find nothing's working? Like they're not making any money. What do you tell them?
Well, generally, there's always something that's work. I mean, it's the 50-50 of life is also the 50-50 of business and marketing. Okay. So it's very rare that it's either all working or all not working.
Mm-hmm.
There's always things that are working. Maybe there's things that are working a teeny tiny bit and they, just need to be optimized and amplified. But I would always go towards desire. Like, where do you desire to be? Where do you want to show up to meet new people? And how do you want to build those relationships? And those are skills that we have, even if we don't think we have them as an entrepreneur or a business person. We have them as a human, right?
Yeah.
So even if we don't know, like, I don't know, maybe we have, been kind of a hermit and we don't know how we like to meet people. That's fine. But let's just start experimenting,
Yeah.
right? Because I can tell you, I have people that are really great, clients that are really great with meeting people online and on social media. And, for them to think about going to a networking event would be like poking their eyes out with hot rods. And that's fine. It works for them, right? And then I have clients that love networking, and they'll go out and network their face off and not think twice about it. But to tell them to go post on social media, they're not going to do that.
Yes.
So it's about knowing yourself and not putting so much pressure. Like, I have to find the one magic thing that works, because there is no one magic thing that works. Because if there was, whoever found it would be selling it. We would have all bought it and we would all have all the clients, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
about using our own energy, following our own energy, our own desire, and taking that to our marketing, just like we do to the work with our clients, right? So that really frees a lot of my clients. If you think about marketing as just the pleasure of getting to serve your future clients, because I know how much you love working with your current clients, you can take that same love and that same energy to your marketing.
I love that. And I even for myself think back in college, I took a speech class and I taught on, I think I've told this story before, but I taught on cholesterol because my dad had just got home from the doctor and he had a pamphlet on cholesterol. He's like, why don't you teach him about this? And I was like, what? But I got to learn about it. And then I got to simplify it and teach my freshman college speech class about cholesterol. And I loved it. And so I think back to that. And then I started speaking when I started my business. And now I get to speak on my podcast on other people's or teaching groups. And like speaking and teaching is what brings me, I don't know if it brings me energy, but I have fun doing it and I can help people doing that. So it makes total sense. But then there's other things, as your favorite saying, poke your eye out with a hot rod, that would give me that feeling.
Yeah.
Okay. When you say belief first marketing plan, is that just the belief that all marketing works? Is that the part of it, or is there something else that we should be thinking about when it comes to that?
Yeah. So belief is really the firm foundation to build your marketing upon, right? Because you are the leader of belief in your business, among your clients, among your audience. No one's going to believe in you and what you're offering more than you do. So we always start out with building that belief. And number one is, belief that all marketing works. That's great. But really believing, and where I find a lot of women have trouble, is really believing in the value that they offer, the value, the business value of the service that they provide. And I have an exercise I take them through with really helping them to discover the impact of that value on their clients and really put that into words and go back to that and look at that every day, or look at the accolades they've received from clients or people that they've worked with, and really ground in how amazing is the impact that they have on people, whether they're people that have paid them or not, right? So once you're grounded in really believing that you have value to offer and that you're worth being paid for that as a business, because we know as a human, you're 100% worthy and valuable at all times, no matter what you do or don't do.
Right.
But as a business person, you have to believe that the work you do is valuable and that you're worth getting paid for that.
Yeah. And that takes an effort to rethink that every day or however often, and to have one place that you keep that so you know where it is and can find it.
Yeah, because that work never ends, because at every new level, we are working on those beliefs, right? Again, or still, I think that's work that I have to do every day.
Yeah. Do you have a process or a way that you do that?
I do. I think in the morning, I take time to journal. And as part of that journaling, I'm working on my self-concept, who I'm becoming, like my future self, and what she believes and what she believes about her value in serving. And so I'm always grounding each morning in that because, 99% of the time I wake up feeling like the world is going to hell in a handbasket and I'm going with them. So I have to take that time to make that shift and really decide on purpose what I want to believe about myself, my worth, my mission, where I'm headed every day.
Yeah. A friend just messaged, there's a couple of us that meet weekly, and she just messaged and said, okay, I just learned, have a list in your phone and have the month with, a bullet under it, and just keep recording things in there. Keep pasting things that are, with what you're saying, showing your impact that your work is making in this world, or even something you've accomplished or a new thought you believe or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that every night before I go to sleep. I record 3 wins every day. So then I can lay my head down on the pillow knowing not everything went perfect, but I'm a winner. I got 3 wins today, even if I still have breath in my lungs, is the only win I can come up with. But that really helps to keep that mindset, that more positive mindset.
Yeah, I have a couple ladies that just got together and organized Life Academy too that are texting each other wins. Now that you've done that consistently, do you find that throughout the day you think, oh, that's going to be a win tonight? Or do you not?
I do.
Okay.
I do. And then the fun thing is when I do my weekly review, then I can go back and look at all the wins. I'll have 15 wins from the work week that I can look at. And I don't know what it is about our brains. Well, we know our brains are still, but I will forget half the things. And I go back and I'm like, oh, I forgot that happened.
Kind of amazing.
Was 99% of the time I'm feeling like things aren't going well or whatever. It's just, we kind of get in that default pattern sometimes. And then, so it really does help me to look back at like, oh yeah, things are going okay. I'm going to be okay. This is fine.
It's actually better than I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so you being in business for 20 years as an entrepreneur, what has been, and this, I'm just curious, what has been your most successful marketing strategy? Like what gives you energy, or where do you have energy?
Oh boy. So I've tried a lot of things.
Yeah.
And it has shifted over the years. And so I want to offer that is completely normal and it's okay. So when I first started out, blogging was a big thing. So, and I started out my business as a written content creator. So I was creating written content for my clients.
Okay.
And so I was writing all the time. That was basically my job. I was a writer. And so I was writing a lot of marketing copy. And so blogging was my thing. So I was doing a lot of blogging, a lot of writing, and that was really filled my soul. And I still do a lot of journaling and writing. But over the years, I think probably, 5 years ago, and speaking has also been something that I've really enjoyed. And that's been a way to really challenge myself. And then I got into podcasting. And so that has been something that has brought me a lot of joy and has really helped me to learn to trust my voice, which I did not trust my voice before that. So that was kind of my own challenge to myself.
Yeah.
And so that's been a really great way. And I also really love social media. Like I love the interaction of being on social and having conversations. But probably the main thing throughout all the years has been networking, because I have an intense curiosity about people. I love talking to people and just hearing their story and connecting with them and hearing about their dreams. And so anytime I get to go to a networking event, I get very excited because I love meeting people.
Oh, so interesting. It's so fun because as you're saying those things, I'm like, nope, not for me. Yep, that's mine. Oh, no. Oh, gosh, I'd have to work on getting excited about that. So it's fun to just see how we're all different. And it's totally fine because all marketing works. I love that saying now.
Yeah.
Okay, as we wrap up, if someone's sitting here and they're like, oh, I need to make, I don't even have a marketing plan. I need to do something. So how would you help them make a 1-page marketing plan?
Yeah. So the first thing, if you have an established business and you've been marketing, the first step is to really evaluate where you are, right? So we want to know what's working with your marketing and bringing in clients. Like, what do you feel is working? What are the numbers that we can look at that are working? And understand that. And then we want to know what's not working, right? So, I tried TikTok and I don't like dancing and videos or whatever the funny things they do over there. I don't want to be there. So let's, look at what is working, what's not working. And then what are our lessons from that, right? So we want to start with what is our business already telling us, which is, in our marketing plan and our energy.
Mm-hmm.
What do we already know from where we are? And then we want to look at how am I creating new clients, right? So that's the 3 steps of our one-page marketing plan is what are the ways I want to be meeting new people and how am I going to do that? What is the cadence? Do you want to set a goal for yourself, like a networking event a week or, however it is that you're going to be meeting new people?
Okay.
And then number 2, how do you want to be nurturing those relationships? So you and I both use email, and email is still a really great way. I won't go into all the stats there, but suffice it to say that email is still a really great way to nurture relationships, and people will buy from emails. So that's a great way. How else do you want to nurture relationships? Whether it's having coffee chats with people or following them on social and commenting on there's a lot of different ways. There's 100 different things you can do. And then number 3, really understanding the journey that people take and coming to work with you, right? And then making those offers and invitations all along the way. So traditional marketing advice has been like, oh, you can only make offers, you have to do 80% value and 20% offers or whatever. And I say, forget all of that. The math is too much. Just make an offer in every single thing you do. You always want to be thinking about what is the invitation or the offer I can be making right now to this person or in this email or whatever. And those are all teeny little steps. It doesn't have to be the first time you meet someone for coffee, encouraging them to buy your high ticket offer. That's not how it works, right? It's meeting them for coffee and saying, oh, I have a free class next week. Would you like to come? Or I'm going to go to this networking event. Would you like to come with me? That sort of thing. It's almost like dating. I talk a lot about how it's kind of like dating, like when you're dating someone and you really like them and you want to get to know them better, you're always thinking about, oh, what can I offer as the next thing for us to get together and get to know each other better?
Yeah, that's fun to think about. Okay, and to write that down on one page. I liked how you said, I read somewhere that you said evaluation is like taking a master class in what our business is trying to tell you.
Yes.
And I love that, thinking, yeah, we can rely on our feelings, but what are the numbers telling us? And what do we see in the data and make decisions from that?
Yes. And so anytime you feel like, I know we all get up in our heads and we're like, oh, nothing's working. I'm throwing it all out. I'm burning this business down. And we're feeling very emotional about our results. I say, stop. And you can have your feelings, have your emotions, process those, but then go straight to evaluation. Because evaluation, if you do it properly, it's like a masterclass. Like it will answer all of your questions of your next steps.
Mm-hmm. And I liked how, too, I heard somewhere you saying it's what you can control in the evaluation process, which I thought was key. It's not like you're thinking about what's outside of your control. You're looking at what you did and what you can control.
Yes. And that's an extremely powerful concept of focusing on what you can control, because we can't control the economy. We can't control the politics or global geopolitics or what's going on in the weather, or even we can't even control buying habits of consumers, right? Mm-hmm. But we can always control our response and how our business responds and how we problem solve as an entrepreneur.
And I think, too, I want to bring this up because I loved how you evaluated. And you gave the example that you want to go on 10 marketing activities, I don't know, a month. I don't know what it was. But when you looked at it, you had only done, let's just say 55. And so you had 50% completed your plan. And then you looked at your revenue and you were 50% where you wanted to be. Like noticing that how we execute our marketing plan ties into our revenue goals. Or to notice if it does. Do you see that's always the case?
It's always the case, because marketing, if you're following marketing where you're bringing your energy, right, it will create results So if it's not, 9 times out of 10, it's because we aren't doing the amount that we wanted to do, right?
Yes.
And so what I see is so interesting is that we all have a lot more internal wisdom when it comes to, well, how many, networking events do I need to go to? And it is an experiment. So I picked 10, right? So let me see if I can go to 10 a month and then see how that affects my results.
Mm-hmm.
And so the evaluation always gives you that clarity of are my actions leading to results?
Yeah. Yes, that's so good. And it doesn't mean that 10 was the right answer. You might learn that you did do 10 and you didn't meet your revenue goal, but that just means you guessed wrong that it would take 10.
Yeah. Or then we can problem solve from there.
Mm.
And the example of networking, I can go to 10 networking events, and if I don't follow up with anybody or invite anybody or make offers and invitations, it's not going to create clients. No one will even remember I was there, right?
So true. So the networking, attending and checking it off is not necessarily what your goal should be ahead of time. Maybe it should be more specific. I'll attend 10, I'll get 10 business people to follow up with, and I'll follow up with 10 of them.
Yeah.
Or I guess that would be your nurture. I don't know. That's maybe the same step.
Yeah. Well, the networking event to meet new people, that's the new part of our marketing plan. And then the nurture is, the follow-up part. Yeah.
Oh, so it's so good. And I just love thinking about the energy part, because if you love that, you're not going to stop doing that. But maybe the part of the nurturing is what's not being executed.
Yes. And so when we have a simple, intentional, one-page marketing plan, it makes problem solving so much easier because we can say, oh, well, I went to those 10 marketing events and my energy was great. So what happened? Well, I didn't follow up with any of them. But if we're on 10 different social media platforms and, we're publishing a podcast, YouTube show, Substack, and all these other things, it's really hard to nail down what's working and what's not working when we spread ourselves so thin, right?
Yeah. This is so insightful. And okay, one last thing I need to talk about is over learning. Sometimes if we're not executing our marketing plan, it's because, and you had mentioned it in the beginning, it's because we're over learning or thinking we need to learn versus practice it. Or how do you think about that?
Yeah. So it comes from the unintentional belief that there's one perfect marketing skill, or that if I'm perfect at marketing, then the clients will come.
Yes. And so we think that we have to get better at learning about it versus executing it.
Right. But the only way we can get better at the skill of marketing and of executing the things that we want to be good at is by actually doing them and then adjusting all along the way. So it's not about perfecting it before we start. We have to start and then perfect all along the way.
And learn and digging into why we're not taking action on that. That's for another episode.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's simply, most of it's fear, right? Procrastination is just fear in a fancy dress.
So good. Okay, Melissa, tell us where people can find you and how you help them.
So I am a one-on-one marketing coach for women entrepreneurs. Specifically, I'm really great at helping women get from the mid 5 figures up and over 6 figures and beyond. So I love that place. It's so critical. So the best places to connect with me are on Facebook at Melissa Kellogg Lueck and on LinkedIn under the same name.
I love it. And your podcast.
Yes, my podcast, Doing Business Like a Woman, where we talk about business and marketing as women.
Yeah, I love it. I was listening to a couple episodes right before this and I was taking notes. I'm like, oh, this is so good. So go listen to Melissa's podcast. Thank you so much for being here. And I want everyone to make their one-page marketing plan. Evaluate where you're at right now and think about marketing. All marketing works. And what do you enjoy? What do you love? What's energetically aligned for yourself? So thank you for all your wisdom, Melissa.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Wait, if you're finding this podcast useful, you must check out the Organized Coach Academy. It's my course where I walk you through every step to get your business organized, to get yourself organized, to save money and time, to prepare to hire someone, to do all the things that you want to do in your business with ease. Check that out at simplysquaredaway.com/OCA. Also, I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but I would love it. It's my way of knowing that you're enjoying the podcast if you leave a written review. I have lots of freebies for you. They're linked in the show notes. You can find them in my bio on Instagram at Tracy Hoth. And until next week, have a beautiful day.